Hi there, my name's Marcus, and I blow glass. Welcome to the studio. Today we're going to be making a wrap and rake. We'll start by making some white tubing, and then we'll do the wrap and rake part. So here I have some striking china white, and I'm just going to lay that over top of some heavy wall tubing. Size doesn't really matter here. We want our lines to be evenly spaced. This will let us plan for the next set of lines. And I'm just going to draw my next set slightly overlapping the first set. By drawing our line like this, overlapping the first one, we prevent trapping bubbles. It's nice to melt in the creases as well. I saved you guys a little bit of time with a speed ramp here. So, we're all done. Time to put a bunch of heat into this and clean up the tip. We'll remove that clear glass. And now we'll want to add some air and try and get the tip thin. This is so that we can add a blow tube or a handle. Blowing lots of air in there. And you gotta put a lot of heat into this because it's quite thick. I like to blow out a thin bubble and then hang it down. This lets gravity stretch it out, and then I can add some more air. The whole time I'm doing this process, I'm also flashing the back end, keeping the terminations of where I ended all of those lines warm, because it will crack there. Now I'm just going to blow out a hole in the tip. And this is where I'll attach my handle. Taking the time to really heat in that seal and make sure the handle's nice and even. Now we'll take off the other side. Looking good. We're going to put a whole bunch of heat into this, really get it super hot, and blow a bunch of air in there. And we're going to repeat that same process from before, where we heat up that thin wall and hang it down so the gravity pulls it out nice and even. Then we can add some more air once it's a little bit thinner than we want it, or a little less of a diameter than we want it to be. I want to blow this even thinner, so I add a little bit more air. And now we're starting to really hang it down, focusing a lot of the heat on the tip because that side wall will follow it, and using a bushy flame so that it splashes and carries the rest of the tube down. Now we can blow some air in there. I'll blow another hole in the tip here and attach another handle. We're going to cut this tube in half and then basically use half of the tube for our wrap and rake. It's pretty big. When you make a straight seal like that, you want to push them together and then pull a little bit outside of the flame. I like leaving a little stringer here to help pull out the tip, not allowing that glass to fall back inside of the tube. We're going to blow this out again and then hang it down in the flame and get our final shape. So getting the sidewall nice and hot, and then keeping the tip the hottest while we hang it. Sorry, my camera was not trying to focus on this. It's pretty bright. I've got a filter now. Beautiful. The tip is maybe a little bit larger diameter, so I'll heat that up and let it hang down. And I'm pretty happy with that. Time for our wrap and rake. So we're going to want to keep our rod super hot and keep our tube pretty hot. And then we're just going to trail this glass on. We're rotating our tube away from us and just trying to keep a nice gradient of heat inside of that rod. I believe this is an experimental green, number 5, from North Star Glass. So we want to make sure that all those lines get cooked in really nice. So I'm going to use a marver to help push them down into that tube while heating them up. Having a big graphite paddle like this is super handy. Here's a striking color. I'm not sure which one. We're just going to add some more on top. This time I'm twisting the rod in my hand. Keep the whole thing a little nicer gradient than the first one. Kind of just experimenting. Oop, it's getting pretty floppy. Alright, we're going to bake all those in. I'm not actually sure what this color is. Some kind of a red striking green. We'll trail some of this on there and just see how it looks. It's good to have fun with this, you know? Alright, so we're just taking the time to cook all that in. And I'm gonna use a 7mm rod to do my rake. we're going to do a nice swath of heat along the tube, and then lightly touch that rod to the surface and pull down with the flame a little bit ahead of it. Kind of looks like a feather. And I'm going to do them in opposing directions this time. A lot of people like using a tungsten pick for this. In many ways it's better because you don't leave any clear glass on the surface. But this is actually an easier way to do it, so when you're starting out, it might be fun to play around with. I'm not worrying too much about the shape of the actual tube right now. It's gonna get all weird and wonky. Might look a little bit like a kidney or something, but we'll take it to the doctor after and get it sorted out. Okay, that's pretty cool. We'll repeat the process all the way around the tube. And I'm kind of running out of space here, but we'll give that final one a shot after this. Are we even gonna worry about it? Nah. Let it go. Just roll with it. I think it looks pretty cool. So, it's quite weird shape. The glass is very uneven. So we want to put a bunch of heat into this, blow it, let it fall down on itself after putting more heat into it, blow it again, and just repeat the process. It'll even itself out. Make sure that you keep the tip hot because everything will follow that. But don't be scared to work your way down the tube at the same time. You can see how uneven that middle is. Sometimes I like to heat it up, take it out of the flame, and wait to blow. You can see it's really not a great shape. But we're just going to put more heat into it and trust the process. Really get it hot. Play with the edge of what you're comfortable with. Let it flow and flop. Okay, so I added a bit more air. Really getting that middle nice and hot. Oh, and it tagged itself on the wall there, but that's okay. Gonna add some more air. Putting a bunch of heat into the tip. Trying to get it all to flow together. You can see that tag on the side. But if you keep it really hot, it'll all become one. All of the heat into the tip now that I've got it a little bit thicker. And I really want that tip to be the hottest. You can push it a little bit with the marver, but I wouldn't use it too much. Just help guide it down, and then refocus all of your heat on the tip. Nice, now we're getting somewhere. really letting that condense down and then blowing it back out. It really is this repetition of heating it and blowing it out that gives you a nice even shape. So we're going to blow out the tip now. Make sure you blow in the flame so you don't make bubble trash. We'll open up a hole and attach a handle. We're going to remove our other blow tube. And you can see that tag is still there. A bit where it's fused to itself. It's fine. Just put a bunch of heat into it. Really let it get floppy. Make it as hot as you can manage. And I'm just focusing all that heat back on that tip now that I've got the wall super floppy, and we'll blow it out. Using a couple puffs and letting it settle in between gives you a better wall weight. And now we're going to let it condense back down on itself and do it again. Nice. That's looking pretty good. Now this is probably still a bit uneven, but it's fine for kiln storage, and we can figure out what to do with it later. I think it's so pretty when it's kind of warm like that and got the heat coming off. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Drop a comment in the section below and tell me what you want to see next. See you in the next one.